There's a lot of factors contributing to the slow development of African, such as conflicts, the mindset of dependency, corruption, you name it. This being said, Africa is a complex continent. The eradication of one factor will not just propel it from poverty, just like this, but it sure is a start. One of the factors I'm going to be talking today is football. Yes, football, aka soccer, is killing Africa. Now, stay with me, I'm about to explain. Football is a very exciting game. It's also by far the biggest sport on the African continent according to Michigan State University. Its popularity is due to its accessibility. It really doesn't take much to play football. All you need is a fairly small object to kick in, or preferably a football or homemade footballs that are pretty easy to make if you ask me. Do not get me wrong, I love football because just like any other sport, it builds character and discipline in the young men and women that play it. It also builds bonds, friendships. And I know some of you might be saying, but look, how can a sport as beautiful and interesting as football hinder the development of a whole continent? Well, I'm not talking about the people who go out and actively partake in the activity. In other words, people who go out and play. I'm talking about the people who sit down and watch La Liga, the English Premier League, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, and others. I'm going to take a pretty famous team for the sake of example, Arsenal. Based on the following information of its 2017-18 season, Arsenal played a total of 60 games, 66 including friendlies and pre-season. See, I lived almost all my life on this continent. 12 years in Kigali, Rwanda, 5 years in Dakar, Senegal, and I had the amazing opportunity to travel to some African countries. Real fans, the ones I have encountered throughout all my life, do watch or follow closely all these games, and they do not stop there because they cannot miss any Champions League games, any El Clasico, any famous derbies, or other highly anticipated games of the season. For those who are pretty familiar with football, you know that there is a match preview, the actual game, and the post-match analysis and interview that easily amount to 150 minutes. How productive can it really be when you spend 150 minutes of your time watching 22 people following a football, while the latter are making £50,000 weekly? I'm not talking Nigerian Naira or the franc CFA, I'm talking £50,000 a week, while we are all sitting down and watching. See, my problem with that is all this is happening at the expense of our productivity. Africa has the youngest population in the world according to the United Nations Development Program. And what are we spending most of our time doing? Watching football or waiting impatiently for the next Clash of Titans. Ooh. I should not be generalizing, but you still get it. A lot of us are sitting down watching football. Our TV providers are very successful because obviously there is a big market for this type of entertainment. You can argue that we Africans are not the only ones to watch football or any other type of sport, and you're right. It is unequivocal that Americans, Asians, Europeans do watch sports too. But one thing you're quick to forget is that at our jobs, we're not paid as much as they are. It is one thing to waste your time while you're getting paid well, and another when you barely make the ends meet with an unreliable job. See, Africa is already behind in a lot of sectors, and watching football is definitely not helping. Football is entertaining, I agree, but it's just another form of escapism. And what we need to do is think about what we're trying to escape from, what we're trying to avoid. Is it a responsibility? Is it work? Is it a business opportunity? What should we be doing or trying instead of watching football? I'm not here to judge though. I'm looking for a solution myself. As a matter of fact, I think I found it. See, I'm a big basketball fan, player too. But that doesn't mean that I watch every single game that Rajon Rondo, my favorite NBA player, plays. The internet has made it very easy for quite some time now. It has been 2 years that I have only been watching 7 to 10 minute highlights videos instead of watching the whole game. Yes, I know, I know it's not the equivalent of the whole game, but I still see the important parts. And I do save 100 minutes that I put in my work, hobbies, and interests. Once you try it, you will realize how much of your time is going away to football instead of spending it on yourself, on developing yourself. At some point, you realize how much football is hindering your productivity, your output to this world, hence your life. To summarize this video, start watching YouTube highlights instead of spending 150 minutes of your time on watching football. You owe it to yourself. Thank you very much for watching. Share this video with whoever you think needs it. I'm Luke Rolinda, and I'm out.